There is an old story from a small fishing village on the coast of Japan. An elderly fisherman named Hiroshi had been waking up before dawn every single morning for over 60 years. A young writer visiting the village asked him how he had stayed so consistently motivated for so many decades. When most people lose their drive within a few years of starting anything, Hiroshi laughed quietly and said, "You are asking the wrong question, my friend. I have not felt motivated in perhaps 50 years. What I have is something much more reliable than motivation, and it is something the modern world has almost completely forgotten how to teach." That single answer changed everything I understood about motivation. Most of us have been taught that motivation is the engine that drives life forward, that successful people somehow possess more of it than the rest of us. We chase motivational videos, motivational quotes, motivational books, hoping to find some hidden source of energy that will finally make us consistent. But the truth, that older Japanese culture understood, and that we have somehow lost, is that motivation is one of the least reliable forces in human life. It comes and goes like weather. The people who build meaningful lives are not the ones who feel motivated more often. They are the ones who have built systems that no longer require motivation to keep moving forward. The first method comes from the world of Japanese craftsmen. It is called Kata, form, the precise sequence of actions a craftsman performs at the beginning of every working day, regardless of how they feel. A swordsman arrives at his forge and lights the fire the same way every morning. A calligrapher prepares his ink with the same careful motions, no matter what mood he woke up in. Kata is not the work itself. It is a deliberate bridge between ordinary life and focused work, a small physical ritual that signals to the body that something important is about to begin. What is profound about Kata is that it eliminates the question of whether you feel motivated, because you are not asked to do the work yet. You are only asked to perform the kata, and almost without exception, by the time the kata is complete, the work begins naturally on its own. The second method comes from a tradition most people outside Japan have never heard of. It is called Yarinuku, to push a thing through to its complete end, even when the meaning of doing so has temporarily disappeared. My grandfather, Daiki, wrote about this in his journals. He said, "The people who build remarkable lives are not those who feel certain about their path. They are those who have made a private agreement with themselves to continue even on the days when the path no longer seems to make sense." This kind of quiet continuation produces something motivated people rarely experience. You become someone who can be relied upon, including by yourself. And that reliability becomes its own quiet engine that no longer depends on emotional weather. The third method you may have heard of, Kaizen, the idea that any goal, no matter how distant, can be reached through almost imperceptibly small daily improvements, and that the smallness itself is what makes the practice sustainable. A swordsman who improves his technique by 1% each year becomes a master after 30 years. A writer who adds 2 sentences each morning produces a book within a few years. There is a Japanese phrase, "Ichi nichi ichi zen," one good thing each day, not asking you to transform your life today, just one small good thing, and then another tomorrow, and another the day after, until the accumulation of these tiny acts has quietly built something extraordinary. The fourth method is called Shinen, the deliberate planting of a single clear intention each morning that becomes the quiet anchor for the entire day. Not a goal, not a to-do list, one simple sentence that captures what you want this particular day to mean. Today I will be patient. Today I will finish what I begin. Today I will protect my attention. The sentence itself does not need to be impressive. What matters is that you have given the day a center. One of the deepest reasons modern people lose motivation is that their days have no center.
Every day blurs into the next with no internal sense of meaning to distinguish them. Shinen, which takes perhaps 30 seconds each morning, creates a small but powerful sense of intentionality that quietly carries you forward through the entire day. What strikes me about all of these methods is how completely different the older Japanese approach is from what most of us have been taught. We have been told that motivation is something you feel, something you find, something you must generate before you are allowed to begin. The Japanese tradition tells us instead that motivation is the natural byproduct of small, deliberate daily structures, and that anyone who builds these structures will find themselves moving steadily forward regardless of how they feel on any particular morning. The kata that begins your day, the quiet promise of Yarinuku, the small daily progress of Kaizen, the gentle anchor of Shinen. Together, these create a way of living in which motivation is no longer required, because the structures themselves carry you forward. This is what the old fisherman understood. He did not wake up motivated. He woke up into a way of life that no longer needed motivation to function. And that is perhaps the most freeing realization a person can ever arrive at. Take care of your daily rhythms. They are quietly shaping the entire course of your life.